What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Tournament Saturday, or Saturday Tournament, whatever you want to call it. And this Saturday we have the Tool Drop deck. Now, we've talked over Tool Drop a little bit, but I think it's a great deck for Expanded. Even though Size and Toad is a big thing, if you get enough tools down, you can start knocking out some Pokemon fairly quickly here. But let's go over Trubbish real quick. It has 70 HP, so pretty low HP. It's going to get one-shotted by a lot of decks here. But it has the attack called Tool Drop. This attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to for each Pokemon tool attached to Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. So basically, if there's like 9 tools in play, you can do 180 damage. If you have like 8 in a Muscle Band, that's 180 as well. And there's some other math with Silver Ringlet you could do to knock out some big Pokemon there. But you might be saying that's hard to do. You can only attach one tool per Pokemon, and that's usually the limit here. But we have this card called Sigilyph. Sigilyph has the ability Toolbox. Now we usually talk about the other Sigilyph, which has Safeguard, but this one we're actually going to use the Toolbox Sigilyph, and this lets you have four tools attached to it. So now you can have up to 4 tools on a Pokemon. So now Sigilyph can have 4, Trubbish can have 1. And depending on how many Trubbish you have in play and how many Sigilyphs you have in play, you could have up to 9 on just those guys itself. Sigilyph could have 4, another Sigilyph could have 4, and then a Trubbish could have 1, and that's 9 right there, which knocks out the majority of EX Pokemon. Which you might be saying this is pretty hard to do, but I think it's pretty easily actually. I think this deck, like I said before, has a lot of potential. And of course, we play 2 Shaman here for setup here. When you play this Pokemon onto your bench, you only draw 6 cards. Now, since you play so many tools, you can easily mill down your hand down to 1 or 2 cards, and then use Shaman to set up to draw 6 cards and draw more tools, a supporter card, an energy, whatever you need for the turn. And that's why I think with the inclusion of Shaman EX, Tool Drop has a really good, showing, or could have a great showing for expanded regionals. Which a lot of people haven't been considering this deck, but I think it is a great deck to think for. Now, that's all the Pokemon you play in here: 4 Trubbish, 4 Sigilyph, and 2 Shaman. Almost says 4, but it's just 2 right now. Now, you do have 2 Echo Arm. Oh, okay, also, there is a card called Masquerade that lets you move around tools any way you want to. Now, I don't really see the point of that card because you attach tools so quickly, your tools don't really matter. Like, you're going to be smacking for a lot of damage. And the other card you really have to worry about is Megaphone. But even if they play Megaphone, you have an answer to that now with Echo Arm with Ancient Origins. It says shuffle 3 Pokemon tools from your discard pile into your deck. So now you don't really have to worry about your tools getting discarded because you can just Echo Arm them back and get all your tools back, which is great for Tool Drop Trubbish. Now, the only thing you have to worry about is if they Megaphone you and you're playing against a Trainer Lock deck, so something with Trevenant, or if Toad is punching you, then you can't do it that way. Next up is 2 Level Balls. This can help you search out your Trubbish and your Sigilyphs, but you do play a 4-forward line, so you're eventually just going to draw into them. Play 1 Super Rod, shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards, from your discard pile back into your deck, and this way you can get back your energies. For the most part, you can get back your energies, but you can get back like 2 energies in Trubbish, because once they knock out 4 Trubbish, they have to knock out 2 more. But you also play like Life Dew and stuff like that. To win the game, they have to knock out 6 Trubbish, sometimes 7 if you have a Life Dew attached to it. But they can Life Set Shamans and take knockout on those. Next up is 4 Trainer's Mail here, and I'm not really sure about this card. You could drop Trainer's Mail for Bicycle, and that might be a great card to have in here. But with Trainer's Mail, you can go and try to grab that Ultra Ball or that supporter you need. Like if you have like a lot of cards in your hand and it's a Bicycle instead, you can't play it because you have too many cards. Bicycle lets you draw till you have up to 4 cards in your hand. But Trainer Mail you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Pick a trainer card except for Trainer's Mail and put it in your hand. So that way, if you need a supporter, if you need an Ultra Ball, you need a Level Ball, if you need a crucial tool, and you already have too many cards in your hand, that's why Trainer Mail is great in this deck, and that's why we play 4 of it. 2 Ultra Ball, this is to help switch out for Shaman. The Level Balls can get Trubbish and Sigilyphs, but Ultra Ball could also get out Shamans. We only play a 2-2 split of it right now. You could cut a Sigilyph for a 3rd Level Ball if you really want to. That seems okay, so that way you have a greater chance of starting with Trubbish. You have a 4-3-2 line, and you only need like 2 Sigilyphs at the most on your bench. 4 VS Seekers to your supporters, 2 Cores, 2 Lysander, 2 N, 4 Juniper, pretty much standard stuff. The only thing that's not really standard is a 2 N, and this is because you're going to try to take knockouts fairly quickly here. By turn 1, you have the potential to swing like 200 damage to knock on an EX. And if you could do that, then why would you want to play the N the next turn when you've already knocked out an EX Pokemon and taken 2 prize cards? Now next up, our Stadium Guard is 4 Dimension Valleys. Each Psychic Pokemon's attack is 1 less. Now if you see here, Trubbish has a Psychic cost and a Color cost. So once Dimension Valley comes into play, each Psychic Pokemon attacks is 1 less color. So all it needs now is a single Psychic Energy to tool drop somebody, which is pretty amazing there. And that's, I mean, 1 energy and you can hit over 200 damage with the basic Pokemon. That's why I think Trubbish is a great, tool drop is a great deck. 4 Floatstone. Now we're going to start talking about tools. I should have probably said that first. But 4 Floatstone here gives all your Pokemon free retreat. And like this is why you're not playing Switch here, because you can Floatstone all your Pokemon. The only thing you have to worry about, though, is if your opponent, of course, plays like a laser and puts you to sleep, or some kind of effect where they put you to sleep. The only real part like that in Expanded is a Selgor, which if you're playing against a Selgor, you're probably just going to lose. And then also against Toad with lasers or Yveltal with lasers. That's probably your main concern there. Now next up is 1 Life Dew. I've talked about this a couple times during the video so far. And this Pokemon, this card is knocked out, okay. And this card is attached to a Pokemon. They basically take 1 less prize when they knock it out. But it has to be by your opponent's attacks. Oh wait, no. It's just by why am I saying opponent's attack? If your Pokemon is knocked out by your opponent, they take 1 less prize card. So they knock out a Trubbish here. They don't take a prize card at all, because usually when you knock out a Trubbish, they take 1 prize card, but with a Life Dew, they take 1 less, so that means 0. They knock out a Shaman with it, they take 1 prize card instead. Now the cool thing with Life Dew, since it is an A-Spec, you can only play 1 in your deck. You could play Computer Search, I obviously opted not to. And with Echo Arm, you can get back Life Dew to reuse on Trubbishes if you carefully place your tools down, which is pretty neat, so you can use your Life Dew multiple times with Echo Arm. Next up is 3 Muscle Band. Your attacks of your Pokemon do 20 more damage to the active. Silverbang will do 30 more to the Pokemon that's an EX. So maybe if you need to hit like those 210 numbers or something weird like that, like 210. I think that's the only like real number, because next up is like 220 and 240. And the primals and megas and stuff like that. I don't think there's anybody with 230, but I could be wrong. I know there's 210, 220, 240, and 250. Wailord is 250. So maybe Silverbang could help you knock out a Wailord. I don't know. The next up is 3 Headringers. So remember earlier that Trubbish said all tools in play, not just like your side of the field. So if your opponent like decides, you know, I'm not going to attach a tool to my Pokemon because I don't want to, you know, I don't want them to do more damage. Well, now you can attach a Headringer to an EX Pokemon and make it where you do more damage because that Headringer, and they needed extra energy attached to that Pokemon to actually hurt you there. Now this can actually help out your Seismitoad mirror match. If you go first and they start Seismitoad, if you get a Headringer with an active Seismitoad, they have to like somehow switch that Seismitoad out, or they have to like tool scrapper their own tool off, or the Headringer off, the roasting it off, AZ pick it up to discard the Headringer. There's a lot of stuff that could happen here with the Headringer, and that's I think that's why it gives a good chance against Toad. And even against Toad, if you get 9 tools down turn 1, you can start knocking them out before they can even like Toad lock you, which is great here. And of course, we play 7 Psychic Energies. Now, we've already talked about some kind of things in the deck you can cut here. You could cut a Sigilyph for another Level Ball if you need to. You could cut a Colress for a 3rd in if you're scared that you start Colress too early, but you're usually going to fill your bench up fairly quickly there. You're not going to get punished like a lot of decks here for benching your Pokemon, because you do play Floatstone, and also all your Pokemon have 1 retreat costs. Shaman has 1, Sigilyph has 1. If they license up a Trubbish, you can just attack with it. It does have a 2 retreat cost, but it only needs 1 energy to attack. And since you play 4 Dimension Valley, you should win the war here. And then also you could coach the Life Dew for a Computer Search. And you could have an Elsa in this deck. I think it searches like for 5 Pokemon tools. It could be okay. I'm not sure. It just seems like it slows down the deck a little bit more. Like you don't want to just search just for tools. You need to search for like your energy, your Dimension Valley, a bunch of tools, a bunch of Pokemon, and that's why Juniper and Shaman is good in this deck. I mean, I guess you could Elsa and then use Shaman to draw stuff. Let me pull up Elsa real quick, and then you could play like other tools in here. Let's see. Maybe it's Elisa. How do you spell this Pokemon? Oh, there it is. So Lisa, search for 3 Pokemon tools. Oh, it's only 3. It's not even 5. Which is, I don't think it's that good here. Let's see if there's a way we can filter and put tools. So yeah, tools here. Apply. Discard that. So I mean, Spirit Links are pretty much useless. Crystal Wall, Crystal Edge, pretty much useless. Dark Claw is useless. You could but do Evilite, does 20 less to your Pokemon. It's okay. EXP Share wasn't stable back in Tool Drop because you needed 2 energies to attack without Dimension Valley, but now you only need 1. Not that useful. Floatstone, we play it. Focus Sash, not useful. G-Booster, G-Scope, Spirit Links, more Spirit Links. Giant Cape could give him 20 more HP. Maybe okay. The one card right here is Healing Scarf. You heal 20 damage from your Pokemon. If this got rid of status additions, I can see this card definitely being stable. But since it just heals 20 damage, it's not good. Hard Trauma is just like Eviolite, but this one can only be attached to it can be attached to any Pokemon. And while Eviolite can only attach to basics, if I remember correctly. More Spirit Links. Jammy Nets. Jammy Nets not that great here. I mean, you still want a Headringer instead, make them attach more energies. Life Dew, we've already been over. Lucky Helmet could be one you could do, so you can draw more cards. But pretty much useless there. Spirit Link, Muscle Band, Protection Cube, but we don't do any damage to ourselves. Let's see here. Rescue Scarf could be a cute one here. If the Pokemon is knocked out, you could put that Pokemon in your hand. But since you already play 4 Trebuchets and you play Super Rod, you really don't have to worry about with the Rescue Scarf. But you could put that in there. If you want to take out the muscle bands, that could be something you could do there. Rock Horde could be cute, but you don't. I mean, they do 6 damage counters on the active Pokemon. Rocky Helmet's 2 damage to the active Pokemon. Spirit Link, Silver Mangle, Silver Mirror makes it where Plasma Pokemon can't hurt you, but those cards, those Pokemon are basically dead. Sparkling Robe. Okay, this the Pokemon this card is attached to can't be affected by any special conditions. Okay, so back to the list. I would definitely cut the Muscle Bands and put Sparkling Robes in here. And the reason why, if you play against a Selgor, I don't know why I don't have this in the list at all. Yeah, I would definitely like put Sparkling Robe in my deck. I would just cut the Muscle Bands and put Sparkling Robes in there, so that way you're not affected by lasers, you're not affected by deck and covers, and that's a really, really good card. I just don't have it in the deck right now. Next up is Team Plasma Badge, make a Pokemon a Plasma Pokemon. Trick Coin, Spirit Link, Victory Piece, Weakness Policies. I mean, you already get one shot about so much stuff that weakness doesn't really matter. And Wide Lens, you don't do any damage to the bench Pokemon. So yeah, I forgot about Sparkling Robe. I'm not even going to lie here. The Pokemon this card is attached to can't be affected by any special conditions or remove any special conditions affecting that Pokemon. So yeah, I would definitely put this in the deck. So if you're watching it this far along, make sure to put Sparkling Robe in your deck. That seems like a really good inclusion that I just forgot about. I forget about all the tools because there is so many. We just went over all of them, and there's so many in the deck here. But hopefully you enjoyed this deck. I already recorded the games here, so sadly they won't have Sparkling Robe, but we really don't need them. But hopefully you enjoy this series. I really do like Tool Drop a lot. Like I said, its only bad matchups are turn 1 item lock decks. So anything with Trevenant that plays like Wally or Evo Soda, then you're in trouble. Eva Soda, they do have to wait a turn, but if they Wally turn 1 Trevenant, you pretty much lose there. Seismitoad is still okay, because if you attach all your tools down early, you're okay. You could put Bicycle in the deck, you could put Acrobike in the deck, you could play Roller Skates. There's a lot of draw cards you could play in here, but right now this is how we're going to keep it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, I hope you like the series here. It is a 3-game series of the Saturday tournament. There'll be 3 more videos of me actually playing the deck. Thanks for watching again. I hope you have a great weekend, and hopefully you enjoy these videos.